all of their forms, their many, many forms, really do liberate us. They give us a voice, they give us power, which they really did do for Ms. Montgomery. Good books and good art can really distill that sentiment, that very sentiment that she's talking about, and really bottle it for all of us. Can give us something in us, help us find that power to realize our own dreams, to keep our ambitions, to model success, and to kind of just make all of this worth living for. And that really is what we're here to celebrate and speak about today on the 150th anniversary of Lucy Montgomery, which is really 150 years, it's pretty crazy. We're talking about the continued legacy, the importance of good literature, art, community, and also taking a peek behind the curtain of the writing process that brought us all here. So speaking first will be the Kindred Spirits Coordinator, Barbara Keelinger. Barbara is a self-proclaimed dabbler in all things crafty, which I think is excellent. She brings her expertise as a bookbinder and book artist, as well as a Master of Science in Textiles, with over 30 years as an educator, so really a good person to have here. She traveled all the way here from Toronto to masterfully assemble the exhibition you see downstairs in front of the spa. Kindred Spirits, for those who don't know, is a juried exhibition of 37 handcrafted pieces created by members of the Canadian Bookbinders Book Artists Guild, paying tribute to Lucy Montgomery's enduring impact on the artist's life and work. Welcome, Barbara.
Barbara Keelinger, the coordinator of Kindred Spirits exhibition and a longtime member of the Canadian Bookbinders and Book Artists Guild. Now, before I get into the genesis of the project, I'd like to acknowledge the Government of Canada's support for the Kindred Spirits Book Arts exhibition. We're most grateful for their Commemorate Canada program, whose mandate is to venerate important Canadian milestones, such as Lucy Montgomery's 150th birthday. So thank you for believing in the worth of our project. Now, the idea of this exhibition came to me following a discussion with some peers about ways to shake off the malaise that had set on us following COVID. And our membership had become housebound, and we didn't want to seem to emerge from our comfortable cocoons. Now, one of the guiding principles of Cabbage, and some of you are probably wondering why I'm saying cabbage. So no, this is not a cruciferous vegetable. It is the acronym for our organization. We are the Canadian Bookbinders and Book Artists Guild, CBBHG. So one of the guiding principles of Cabbage is that we educate the public about the craft of hand bookbinding. And we do this through several means, one of which is routinely touring Canada with exhibitions such as Kindred Spirits. But because of COVID-19, we lost touch with this vital method of outreach. And so I suggested we find a theme that might be happening in 2024, which could rally our troops. So just like everyone does at these moments, I whip out my iPhone and I start Googling important events in 2024. And the number one event, I didn't have to scroll, I didn't have to go through numbers of pages. The number one event in my Google search was the 150th birthday of Lucy Montgomery. And so just like a thunderbolt, I said, this is it. This will be our project. So Cabbage, a collective of professional and hobby bookbinders whose work protects and preserves the written word, will now honor the iconic Canadian wordsmith who herself cherished the written word and the vessels that contain them. This match was meant to be, and this is how Cabbage and Maud became Kindred Spirits. So now a little bit about the exhibition. Certainly, as Carrie said, it is a showcase of book artistry featuring 37 exquisitely crafted pieces by Cabbage members. This juried exhibition pays homage to Lucy Montgomery's life and literary contributions. A call for submissions was extended to the book arts community, and they were invited to create something that would illustrate their love for Maud. Through fine bookbinding, book arts, calligraphy, letterpress printing, paper decoration, and box making. The artists have created something wonderful. So while the artists were busy being creative, I was now on the hunt to see who might have an interest in this exhibit. And it did not take much research on my part to discover the LMNI conference that would be happening here, and the date being June 2024. And that thunderbolt that I referred to a few minutes ago, that struck me in April of 2023, which meant I had exactly 14 months to pull this all together. And it was an enormous endeavor, and I'm not going to go into that minutia, but I will tell you that it's been quite the ride, and that there are many people to thank. First, I'd like to thank Elizabeth DeBlois. She was the first person I connected with in my search for a PEI venue for the exhibit. She was courteous and patient with my inquiries. She went out of her way to make suggestions and to point me here and to point me there. So I say, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Next, I'd like to thank Dr. Kate Stark. I met her on campus on the first day of fall classes in 2023. And for those of you who've never worked in academics, I will tell you that is the absolute worst day of any semester. Timetables are usually a mess, students are lost, classrooms are being shuffled. And generally it is utter chaos. And yet Kate was so generous to me. Time, listening as I set forth my proposal about this little book arts exhibition. So thank you, Kate. So between you and Elizabeth, the two of you quickly became my PEI veteran. So the journey to find a host venue on PEI was unexpectedly arduous. In that vein, the next person I'd like to thank is Mayor Philip Brown. To his credit, just like Elizabeth and Kate, he did not tell me to get lost, but instead he connected me with Doug DeMay. And thanks to Doug's creative thinking, he linked me with Carrie. He's been a manager of the Confederation Court Mall. And here we are. Now, what strikes me the most about these folks, Elizabeth, Kate, Mayor Brown, Doug, and Carrie, is that they were all willing to entertain the Kindred Spirits proposal. Still, I believe it's more profound than that. They all do share one thing in common. They hold a deep reverence and appreciation for the irrevocable link between Lucy Maud Montgomery and Prince Edward Island. I'd also like to thank the artists who submitted their work for the exhibition. It was clear that Maud had a profound impact on all of their lives, and they demonstrated their deep appreciation for her through their craft. Some of the artists are here with us tonight. Meg Clark, Jose Tesoro, Wanda Miller. Thank you so much for making your way to the island for this event, and of course for deciding to participate when I put out the call for artists. There is, however, one more significant person I'd like to thank, and I'm saving you for last, Kate McDonald-Butler. Kate, when I approached you with the concept, you must have wondered who on earth these people, and what do they want to do? But again, as with everyone else in the orbit of Lucy Maud Montgomery, you were kind and gracious, and you said you would be delighted if you had the honor to grant it this way. You even agreed to be one of the judges for the selection process, and although this may have put you outside your comfort zone, great discussions ensued that day, and I think overall we had a great amount of fun. So thank you so much for being a part of the process. And ultimately, I believe we kept our promise to you that Kindred Spirits will be a respectful and loving tribute to Maud's legacy. Now, while I could go on and on, I'm going to conclude my remarks with this. Thank you to the Confederation Court Mall, specifically Carrie and Sophie. The two of you worked so hard to bring not only tonight's event together, but you designated the space that Kindred Spirits would call home until the end of August. My sincere thanks to you. And I certainly would be utterly remiss if I did not single out one more person, and that's my husband, Randy. He has lived with Kindred Spirits energy 24/7 for the last 9 months and has pitched in every step of the way. So I do thank you. So thank you for everyone for coming out tonight. If you've not done so already, check out the Kindred Spirits exhibit down the stairs in front of the spa. Also tomorrow, we're going to be having a make and take from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. downstairs next to the exhibit, where you can make a souvenir pamphlet that commemorates Maud's birthday, and at the same time, you get a little mini book point in lessons, so that's not a bad thing. And lastly, certainly enjoyed a recent birthday cake to celebrate Maud's 100. Thank you very much.